you're going out to party during Christmas time, before you go out, she'll call you, come, and pour some little black stuff on your hand and tell you, okay, lick it. And then she'll tell you, don't tell your daddy, don't tell your mommy. We loved her, she was our grandmom, so we listened. Many years later, as a resident in training in the US, came across this black stuff again in the emergency room. Anyone who came in with gastroenteritis, food poisoning, or overdose, or deliberate suicide attempt was given this black stuff. So hey, that's what my grandmother used to give me. Charcoal. Then I go up to Johns Hopkins, and I meet Professor Greenhow, who had traveled and worked in the Philippines, Senegal, and Brazil. I would always ask me on ward rounds, so how do you treat malaria? How do you treat typhoid? How do you treat asthma? How do you treat high blood pressure? And over, he'd say to me, there's wisdom in those ancient cultures. Go back and get it. Age 11, I was diagnosed with asthma. I was in secondary school here in Balinde. Got worse as I got older. By the time I got into practicing in Florida, I was having asthma attacks almost every 4 to 6 weeks. Anywhere I went, I had an inhaler. In the car, at home, at the hospital, there was an inhaler ready for me. And then one day, God sent me an angel. And she said to me, Doctor, there are 3 things you must change if you want to get rid of asthma. Number 1, your mindset. Number 2, your lifestyle. Number 3, your nutrition. Then I weighed about 100 kg, and then I could recite to you every single flavor of Häagen-Dazs ice cream and Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I was an ice cream aholic. Patrick Ijewere, medical doctor, privileged to have been born into a family where both parents were very focused on education, on upbringing, on character, and provided the means to attend primary school, Corona School in Victoria Island, secondary school, St. Gregory's College of Balinde, after which I was shipped off to the US for university. With that background, which is honestly a phenomenal background here in Nigeria, we had such an awesome educational system. I finished a bachelor's degree in chemistry, another bachelor's degree in pharmacy, so I'm also a pharmacist besides being a chemist. Then on to medical school. Undergrad was George Washington in Washington, D.C. That was years of chemistry. Pharmacy school was Howard University, Washington, D.C. From there, I retained at Howard and did medical school at Howard. Finished my medical degree and then moved into Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore for my specialty training in internal medicine. Accomplished that, got a job in Florida, excited to leave the cold behind and dash to sunny Florida. And soon discovered many medical doctors don't understand the business of medicine. We're damn good technicians in the OR, in the operating room, in the emergency room, in the clinic, but on the business aspect, we're lacking. So I went back to school, I did an MBA at the University of South Florida. Finished that and opened several clinics in Florida, and then had this little nudge that said, it's time to go back home. So 2008, packed my wife and my 4 children, came back to Nigeria, and it became very clear within the first 2 years of being back in Nigeria that a lot of our health problems today are linked to our lifestyle and nutrition, and truly an abandonment of the fundamentals that our grandparents and great-grandparents knew about wellness. In that journey I traveled throughout Nigeria, north, south, east, and west, and I saw what we were eating. Sad. I saw our lifestyle. Sad. I saw our excuses for eating the garbage we were consuming. Saddest. And so when it came time to exit the initial, I worked for Salus Trust HMO, that's owned by the Catholic Church. The church owned about 300 something facilities throughout Nigeria, so I traveled quite a bit. It came time to let go of that initial umbilical cord. It was very clear if I was to have an impact, truly have an impact, I must look at wellness and less at conventional or modern allopathic.
You've mentioned traveling to Nigeria, your background. Or what exactly prompted that interest in naturopathy? And more as what sparked that interest in you?
I'll give you 3 answers. The first, when seeds have been planted, you don't realize the value of those seeds. My great-grandmother, at age 110 to 120, I would see her in the village, still active. Still active. The early morning she will sweep the front yard. And if you try and get the room from her, she'll chase you away. She'll help with the cooking, pack a basket and go off to the market to go just with her friends who were her age mates. That was a seed. I didn't realize that was a seed at that time. My grandmother, if you had any kind of ailment, headache, fever, chills, whether you call it malaria or type, whatever it was, she would boil water in the clay pot, put the herbs inside, cover you with it. You dress down to your shorts and cover you with it. The next day, it has cleared. You're out playing soccer, running around. That was another seed. If you're going out to party during Christmas time, before you go out, she'll call you, come, and pour some little black stuff on your hand. Tell you, okay, lick it. Then she'll tell you, don't tell your daddy, don't tell your mommy. We loved her, she's our grandmom, so we'll listen. Many years later, as a resident in training in the US, came across this black stuff again in the emergency room. Anyone who came in with gastroenteritis, food poisoning, or overdose, or deliberate suicide attempt is given this black stuff. Hey, that's what my grandmother used to give me. Charcoal. Go. Simple, activated charcoal. Second seed, I met a professor, a young day, at Howard University at the end of my undergrad degree at George Washington, who was doing research on a lot of African grains, including one of our popular dishes, egusi. So I spent 3 months working with him. He had a fulsome lab, fully equipped. And in that research, we saw the nutritional value, the content of nutrition in egusi. Tremendous. We saw the medicinal potential of egusi. And we saw the industrial application. That was people's way. Egusi that we take for granted at home. I'm at Hopkins now. I'm at Howard University College of Pharmacy, and I meet 2 Indian professors, Kapadia and Telan, who are doing research on Nigerian bitter leaf. Goodness. I spent 3 months working with them. What did I learn? The aqueous or the water extract of bitter leaf helps lower blood sugar. The oil extract of bitter leaf, powerful for fertility and fibroids. Then I go up to Johns Hopkins, and I meet Professor Greenhow, who had traveled and worked in Philippines, Senegal, and Brazil. I would always ask me on ward rounds, so how do you treat malaria? How do you treat typhoid? How do you treat asthma? How do you treat high blood pressure? And over, he'd say to me, there's wisdom in those ancient cultures. Go back and get it. There's knowledge there, Patrick. Go back and get it. That was the second seed that was planted by medical professionals. So I journeyed through academia in the US. Third seed, wow. Age 11, I was diagnosed with asthma. In secondary school, got worse as I got older. Until I got into practicing in Florida, I was having asthma attacks almost every 4 to 6 weeks. Anywhere I went, I had an inhaler. In the car, at home, at the hospital, there was an inhaler ready for me. It was miserable because to alter my schedule several times. Luckily, I had understanding colleagues who would allow me to alter the schedule. And then one day, God sent me an angel. And she said to me, Doctor, there are 3 things you must change if you want to get rid of asthma. Number 1, your mindset. A lot of what's been taught in medical school, you need to let go of it. Number 2, your lifestyle. Number 3, your nutrition. Then I weighed about 100 kg, and then I could recite to you every single flavor of Haagen-Dazs ice cream and Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I was an ice cream aholic. Every night I have ice cream. And she told me I should try to change this for a couple of weeks. I didn't want to believe her initially, but she told me to get rid of a few things I really, really enjoyed. Then she said, Doctor, follow my guide for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you'll have absolutely no body odor. None? She said, yeah, just try it. So I listened to her. 2 weeks in, on day 13, I did the number 2 in the restroom. Your holder. I was flabbergasted. This woman knows something I need to know. I go back to her. Excited. Okay, I'll do 2 more weeks. Push 2 more weeks. Wow. Sleep quality improves massively. Morning energy just soars. Okay, 2 more weeks. Mental clarity in the morning. Goodness. I'll do 2 more weeks. 8 weeks in, no asthma attack, no cough, no being short of breath, no wheezing, nothing close to asthma. And I said to myself, this is the kind of medicine I want to practice. Medicine that reverses disease, not keeps you on medications or inhalers forever.
What did you change within those 8 weeks?
The first is mindset. You must be willing to let go of other things we've been taught or socialized into. Next is lifestyle. Then I was running 5 clinics. If I slept 4 hours a night, that was a good night. Just that not compatible with health and wellness, so you have to get back in alignment with nature. Sleep is not negotiable. You will pay a price. When that price comes, that clinic you love so much will go on without you. Guess who suffers? Your wife. Third of my nutrition. Yes, I had to give up a few things I was addicted to. That was the year 2006. We're in the year 2026. 20 years, no asthma attack. This is totally reversed. That was the third C. And that one was an explosive C. Was mentally, I knew I had to challenge what I was taught, revisit how I practice medicine. Honestly, that was cherry fruit. And guess what? What happens when angels come along? They disappear. I find them after that. Haven't seen her since then.
But she planted a seed that has led to
Tremendous impact. Tremendous. That was the third seed. So yes, the kind of practice I focus on today challenges a lot of things we are taught in conventional allopathic medicine. I don't believe diseases are forever. They can be reversed, whether it's asthma, diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis, even the big bad group of cancer and autoimmune disorders. And in that journey, I met a lot of doctors and other practitioners already in that space. In California, in Mexico, in Florida, in North Carolina, and online, there are several of them who are exploring this space of the body can heal. The body has mechanisms to heal. Our ailments are not from the village people. They are from our choices. Sadly, most of us are totally unaware of the choices we make that lead us from wellness to disease. When we buy our disease, we pay nice money for cancer, blood pressure. Many of us are justifying, I'm a sweet tooth. I enjoy that. And so I summarize by saying, disease is simply communication. Disease is simply the body speaking to us that what we have been doing over the years has led to where we are today.
This leads directly to my next question. From your experience, what does the body try to communicate long before disease shows up?
The body is an awesome machine. I joke and I say that I'm actually quite serious when I say this. Today we buy nice products. This camera is a Sony product. Why did you buy Sony? Why not some other brand? Quality, durability. Today we buy certain kinds of phones because of the brand name. We buy certain kind of cars, or we prefer certain kind of cars because of the reputation, the durability. All those things are built in there. And the manufacturer often does not disappoint. Before you put that brand name on there, the Sony, the Mercedes, the iPhone, you've thoroughly tested. Only tested. How much more the human body? For the page of put his brand on it. Man, I made my image and likeness. He has done thorough test. This is the complete machine. It has mechanisms to heal itself and systems, alert systems to tell you when you're going off track from wellness to illness. These are things we're not taught in medical school, conventional allopathic medical school. Anything that I learned after. The body will give us symptoms, everything from the brain fog, to the patch of hair that begins to disappear, or the hair thinning. Waking up tired. Joint pains in the morning when you wake up. When I wake up in the morning, there's no joint pain. Once I open my eyes, I'm up and going. Today they say when you get up in the morning, you have to wait 1 minute on the side of the bed, 2 minutes on this place. None of that happens with me. Up and gone. So the joint pains, the morning stiffness is a sign that something is going off track. The intermittent chest pains you have, the bloating, the excess gas, whether it's burping or sudden release, the menstrual cramps, the abnormal monthly cycles, the fertility challenges. The body gives a wide range of signals that something is going off track. Like you're drifting from wellness, your starting point, your original gift, towards illness. Unfortunately, many of us are busy with life and we're not listening.
Or why do so many of us only engage the illness when something goes wrong?
One could say it's partly our socialization. It's partly the modus operandi of the current healthcare system that we find ourselves into. The system thrives when you get sick. It doesn't thrive when you're in wellness. So we're kind of taught to, when you get sick, go to the doctor, as opposed to go to the doctor to help you maintain your wellness. That needs to be a paradigm shift. Why do we wait till we are sick? We're socialized into it. In many societies, especially the older societies, the food the children eat is not just food, it's also medicine. Ancient Greek philosophers, Hippocrates, who we claim as our allopathic conventional founder of Western medicine, said let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. Our ancestors did that long before Hippocrates came along. My great grandma knew this. And so she'd walk along the bush path, pluck a leaf, and just chew it. She never ate after 6 p.m. She ate with the sun. Heaviest meal was when the sun was at its peak. Once it became dark, there was no cooking, there was no food. She understood that the body is of nature and works in alignment with nature. And when you violate that link, great, the journey from wellness to illness. Roberta said it also. Illnesses don't come out of the blue. They come gradually by violations engaging in our virtual relationship. And suddenly, if you don't have enough accumulation of those violations, disease shows up. We're socialized into believing the doctor is only for illness.
Okay, so just based on kind of society that we have right now, everybody's so hyped, everybody's working, life is stressful. So how does stress, work pressure, and lifestyle quietly affect the body factor?
Quietly and not so quietly. I'll give you two perspectives. Great grandma exited 120. My grandmother was married to my grandfather, who worked for the then, colonial administration. She exited age almost 90. Her husband exited barely at 60. My father exited barely at 80. See the trend. So all that stress is doing to us isn't quiet. We're not making the connection and connecting the dots. We're exiting much earlier than our grandparents and our great-grandparents. There's a documentary by Saw, and I think it was Michelle Obama, who said this is the first generation where the children are dying younger than their parents. Their parents will bury their children in mass. We're seeing that here already. So all the lifestyle of today, stress of today, is not dealing with us quietly. It's very loud. But we either have our head in the sand like the ostrich head, or we're making the connections, or our leaders in the healthcare field seem to be oblivious to this link.
So what can actually change for that level of alertness to come about?
I used an illustration for the 5 pillars of wellness. Number 1, spirituality. Number 2, mindset. Number 3, nutrition. Number 4, lifestyle. Number 5, environment. So with spirituality, science is not catching up with what we've been taught within our religions or spiritual practices, i.e. forgiveness. People who carried out unforgiveness, who, as a badge of honor to carry unforgiveness, wickedness, hatred, bitterness, they tend to have more health problems, tend to have more cancer. There are scientific studies that are showing this, and they respond less with treatment. So number 1, get back in alignment with our Creator. His name is love. Get back in connection with Sadiqas. Number 2, a mindset. This is a multi-pronged one, because the healthcare system today perpetuates this mindset. But truly, we're designed for wellness. It's our gift. It's our starting point. In the space of mindset, being an optimist, looking at the bright side of things, it causes your wellness hormones to be abundant in your body. If you're a pessimist, you're only always sad, always finds an excuse to look at things negatively. Your bodies are washed with unhealthy hormones, stress hormones like cortisol. Be a dispenser of goodness. Goodness dispenser, goodness receiver, and the goodness observer have a boost in their wellness hormones. Serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. So mindset, how do you program the mind? Yes, stress will happen. Yes, the Okada rider will scratch your car and damper will cut you off. But how do you choose to respond? Get into a fight, curse them out, or just smile?
Of course, so easy.
When you smile, your BP remains the same. When you get into a shouting match, your BP goes up, your stress hormones go up. So choose to maintain your goals. Nutrition-wise, simple. Get back to the Garden of Eden. Let your food be dominantly plant-based nutrition. Yes, don't enjoy meat, fish, and the other ones. Let it be natural, not the one that is fed GMO, not the one that is highly processed. Stay as close to nature as possible with the nutrition. Lifestyle. There's plenty on the lifestyle, but let me just touch on 2 arenas. One is sleep. That's negotiable. When studies look at people or groups that live very long, have the least health problems, we find that they don't play with that. In fact, in many of those places, once the sun goes down and darkness ensues, they start to prepare to sleep. But here, what are we doing? Social media at midnight, 1 a.m. You want to be healthy, so you have to get that sleep. Environment, we've been misled that the great shining ball in the sky causes skin cancer and other ailments. Proof really false. During COVID, they told us to go and get what? Vitamin D. Because it elevates your immune system. But it's free now. It's outside, it's free. People who live in natural environments, people who walk barefoot in the soil, people who go into the woods, people who go swimming, people who deal with nature in its best, in its natural state, tend to live longer and have healthier outcomes. Those of us who live in concrete jungles, New York, Lagos, you tend to have lower health outcomes. If you go online, there's a disorder called nature deficit disorder. It's a weak disorder. So it's just a few tips using the 5 pillars of wellness as a structure to help us overcome the challenges of urban life today. Stay close to nature, enjoy the outdoors. Drink lots of preferably spring water and natural water. Pray, meditate, be an optimist. And if you don't understand how to do it, get with those who can journey with you. Wellness practitioners, integrative medicine practitioners, holistic practitioners, and they're increasing in number.
So how do people shift from treating symptoms to actually supporting their system practically any day to day? I know you've mentioned these 5 pillars. Was there anything else that people should think about?
Beyond the 5 pillars I've mentioned, they should connect with practitioners who are open-minded with the model of disease reversal, the model of the body has healing capacity, with the paradigm of the body wants to heal. It's always trying to heal. So if you put in the right fuel, it will help you on the journey to heal. Today, many of us are putting in NLPC into our cars when you have Dangote. The higher the quality, better the body, the car performs.
That's a quality I need. Okay. You mentioned this slightly, but how do you balance traditional wisdom with modern science in your line of work?
First, you must have a respect for ancient cultures that your grandparents are using. That we are taught for dishonor, disrespect, disregard our grandparents and what they were taught. That they were primitive, totally flawed. They were not primitive. They're actually better in health than we are today. So you start with that respect for ancestral ancient knowledge. Be willing to read beyond what we are taught in school. School is a programming. I repeat, especially for my doctor colleagues, school is a programming. Parents should then ask or encourage their children to step out of that programming and read beyond what they're taught in school. Most of the things about our history, our culture. If I tell you, for instance, that Africans were in the Americas long before Columbus got there, most people won't believe me. I've been to Mexico. I've seen some of the evidence. There was books written on it that are out there, but people don't care about these books. Go online, check up Dr. Ivan van Sertimer, check up Sheikh Anta Diop from Senegal, who did the first melanin test. That pyramids, the pharaohs in the pyramids, when tested their skin, they're all black people, black Africans. Books written by Kwame Nkrumah and Sheikh Anta Diop also, showing the linguistic similarity between ancient Kemet, Nubia, and today many of us in West and Central Africa. We've been educated into a programming that makes us disregard our history, disconnect from our history. We have books done by our pioneer universities, professors at universities. They are true, for instance, that malaria wasn't a major problem for us in our ancestry because we ate food that made us almost immune to malaria. Today, we don't eat those foods anymore. Today, we cut down all the trees. So it starts by connecting with that, appreciating your history, respecting your ancestry, then asking, what did they do for this problem? You'll be amazed. Why just leave it? Papa will come and whisper to your ear what they did. Grandma will visit you and download what they did. See that out of experience.
So modern science is not the enemy. It's just there's a balance between respecting where you came from.
Modern science is not the enemy, which has taught us to also disrespect our ancestry. That's where I draw the bottom line with modern science. Today, science is showing that our ancestry was correct. Science is saying that the herbs for malaria are more effective than ACTs, coartem, artemether, and you call them, all the sort of synthetics. But that science is pushed aside.
If someone is feeling fine today or feels fine today, what are some of the signs that their body may still be on that train, even if they feel bad?
How do they wake up in the morning? Wake up with energy, alive, zest, ready to go. They wake up, tired, rested. That's one. Number 2, look at the color of your viewing. It's nice, very light in color, just slightly off-white, consistent, or is it yellow, deep yellow in color? Number 3, your bowel movements. Your bowel movements always thinking of the entire place. Stuff is fermenting, stuff is putrefying, dead, decay inside your gut. Number 4, your flexibility. Do not do this. You're losing your flexibility. You cannot sit on the floor, lotus position. Lose your flexibility. Look at people who are aged today, or who are middle age who are ill. They are not as flexible. They are stiff. Flexibility is Activity is a factor or determinant of quality into your longevity. And that's for it. Sleep, urine, stool, bowel movements, flexibility. No, they're always irritable, getting upset. You don't have anything to do but makes you happy and makes you smile. Wahala day.
What it was just Niger?
Have you seen Sonia Ade dance recently? Have you seen Dangote smile? They're also in Nigeria now. Many years ago, there was a accolade given to Nigeria as the happiest people on earth, in spite of the challenges. In spite of challenges, the more you can find you good things to smile and laugh about, and although you are in spite of the challenges.
What improvements do people up to what where they start addressing their health area for many people?
First of all is improvement in the gut system. Feel lighter. Number 2 is improved sleep. Number 3 is improved mental clarity. Number 4 is just more energy. And for brothers, for the men, number 5 is the other home improvements.
So why does prevention matter more now than ever?
Wow. Because we're in a society that is hitting us from all angles with disease facilitating behavior, disease promoting food, disease promoting visual effects, and disease promoting humanity. I'm telling this that without learning make measure any brand names, now they are promoting that you eat your fufu with something called, it starts with B and ends with an A. You add it to your fufu. Now if you eat your suya, you should have this cold drink next to you to enjoy your suya that is full of acid and sugar. The marketing is what? Disease promotion. It's not the wellness business. It's all around us. And we glorify the industries that feed us garbage, whereas we don't glorify the industries that feed us with wellness. Today, we'll crest folks should be these organic farmers, not fresh organic foods.
Because of what you mentioned in terms of marketing and everything that can be, so what does good infrastructure for well-being actually look like within our society?
What does good infrastructure for well-being look like within our society? Promoting deliberately those factors that improve our health and wellness. Everything from things on social media, things advertised where you talk about forgiveness, talk about being optimistic. We talk about goodness, we talk about philanthropy, talk about community, talk about communication. You promote the natural foods, you promote the audios, go back to Mother Nature, you promote the truth of who we are. We're of nature. Everything this body has came from the earth. Everything came from the earth, the soil. So we should protect the soil, elevate the soil. Mother Nature, revere her, spend time with her. She's delighted to just blow some breeze across your hair, to caress the skin, usually. Yes.
Finally, if people could understand one thing about their bodies, what would you want it to be?
Nature. The body is of nature. The Bible says it best. The dusty decay, the dusty shape. That's fundamental. Every organ in the body, the heart, the liver, the kidney, is all from the earth. So let's protect the earth. There's a lot of things chemically put in the earth. Linear devices, the plastics, GMOs, chemical inputs put into the earth. Let's protect the waterway. Stop throwing garbage to the waterway. Let's have clean air. Stop pollution of the air. We are doing science and tech. We can do this today. I mean, look at what the Dangote the fashion is branded, but it's poor today. Look at the clean quality of that fuel. Move away from fossil fuel, move to solar, move to other forms of energy that are cleaner. We have the tech, we have the science to do this. Don't need GMO. We don't need chemicalized agriculture. We have enough farmers in this country to feed us. We have enough natural foods that are wasting every harvest season.
You mentioned it in passing, but what's the value of easy in terms of our well-being?
Wow. I'll give you two answers. What happened during COVID when we were told to lock ourselves up into our homes? Depression skyrocketed, anxiety, dementia, who got sicker. We had clients who were coming to us for regular elder grandparents class. During COVID, they couldn't come for several months. Many went into dementia, many got worse with Parkinson's, many became worse with their arthritis, many of them gained weight. Community, we teach how to the house, to meet people, to interact. We are naturally social beings. We are born into families, we're not born isolated. Community gives you strength, gives you purpose, gives you understanding, gives you a historical reference point, gives you education, gives you language, gives you a voice, gives you a pedestal, gives you a shoulder. Community is fine. Let me wrap up by saying, when you look at a study done by National 2004 study, done by National Geographic magazine, looked at the so-called blue zones, people around the world who live along the southeast health problem. They found these blue zones, about 5 or 6 blue zones. One of the things that was mentioned was community. At dining table, playing billiards, playing cards, playing Sudoku, playing Ludo. Quickama, even at 110 will come back on the market, even and play Ludo and IO with when I didn't see her recently, I hear her talk way how old. Community connects you with generations. Community goodness. But you find cultures that are minimally influenced with Western diets, they're healthier, from you live longer, they respond, they have blood or you different, they have healthier skin, they're stronger, they're competition. Thanks guys.